Hi, so here's some more of 3.5. This is the third video lesson, and this one gets a little more complicated because we have two ordered pairs and we actually don't know the slope. So that means we have to find the slope, and then we will use that slope in one of the ordered pairs to write the equation. And then we'll write it in the form ax plus by equals c. So first, let me write the slope formula. This one you have to remember that the y's go in the numerator and x's are in the denominator. Now let's find the slope. I'm just going to take 8 minus 2 on the y's and 8 minus 6 for the x's. So my slope is 6 over 2, and that just gives me a slope of 3. So I'm going to use one of the ordered pairs. It really doesn't matter. Maybe you want to use the 8, 8. That way you can't get the x and the y backward because it's the same number, and slope of 3. All right, so now we're using this formula. The point slope, that's called point slope, and that actually says that in the heading up above. Use the point slope form to write an equation of a line given 2 points on the line, and so that's what we're doing. Now this is going to be y minus 8 equals 3 times x minus 8, and then we distribute the 3, so that's 3x minus 24. Now we need the 3x on the side with the y and the negative 8 on the side with the 24, so we're going to subtract 3x on both sides. And so we have negative 3x plus y minus 8 equals negative 24. Then I will add the 8, so we have this in the right order, in the right form. Negative 16, negative 24 plus 8. Now, this is actually in standard form. You don't have to make the negative a positive number, but I just think it looks a lot nicer if you do. And so if we do that, we just go ahead and multiply everything by negative 1, then we'll have this new equation that is a positive 3x minus y equals 16. Now those are equivalent equations. Negative 3x plus y equals negative 16, and 3x minus y equals positive 16. Those truly are the same equation. In our book, it actually allows you to write it with the negative 3x, and that's okay then. So if you don't want to go that next step, you don't have to. All right, let's find the slope. All right, so I'm going to take negative 1 minus 0. Well, let me write the formula again before I do that. So m equals y sub 2 minus y sub 1, x sub 2 minus x sub 1. And you guys, either ordered pair can be the 1 and the 2's on this one. It doesn't actually matter. So I'm going to just start with the first ordered pair right? So that's going to be 0 minus negative 1, so that's plus 1. Negative 4 minus 6. And so now I have a slope of 1 over negative 10, and we will just write that as negative 1/10. Usually we don't leave a negative in the denominator. Okay, so pick an ordered pair. Well, I'm going to use negative 4, 0 because I think that makes it easier, and a slope of negative 1/10. So I'm going to substitute into my formula for point slope, and then we'll write the equation in standard form. So y minus 0, negative 1/10 for m, and then x minus negative 4 is going to be plus 4. So y equals negative 1/10 x minus, so minus 4 over 10 is actually going to be negative 2/5. And we'll take care of that on the next section, or the next step. I'm going to add 1/10 x. Right, so we're going to have 1/10 x plus y equals negative 2/5. Maybe we should just leave that. We're going to clear the fraction, right? So let's just leave that as negative 4/10. This is a time where it's okay not to simplify that. multiply both sides by 10 to clear the fractions, right? And so our equation is going to be x, right? Because 10 over 10 is 1, so that's a 1x plus 10y equals negative 4. So that is the equation of that line. All right, we have another one. So my slope this time, oh, this is going to be kind of weird, huh? So we're going to have y sub 2 minus y sub 1, x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So in my formula, I'm going to do 1/3 minus 0 over negative 1/2 minus 0. So this is a little weird, but all right. So now I have 1/3 divided by negative 1/2, which is 1/3 times negative 2, or negative 2 over 1, if you want to look at it that way. So now my slope is negative 2/3. And that's the slope that I'm going to use in order to write the equation of the line. Okay, so I'm going to use this, 0, 0. Always try to pick the ordered pair you think is going to be the easiest to work with. Definitely zeros are easy to work with when we're writing this equation. So here's how this is going to look. Let me write the formula out real quick. So let's substitute in y minus 0 equals negative 2/3 times x minus 0. So that leaves me with y equals negative 2/3 x, because when I multiply it times 0, it's just 0. Then I'll add 2/3 x to both sides. So 2/3 x plus y equals 0. Right? Because I had opposites on my coefficients, and so that always equals 0. And then of course we clear the fraction of the, we only have one fraction, so we're going to clear that by multiplying every term. Now you can't leave a term out just because it doesn't have a fraction in it. So now my new equation is going to be, so that 2/3 times 3 is going to give me 2x plus 3y equals 0. And you know what? That is perfectly fine to have that answer. It's okay for an equation to be set or to be equal to 0. And I'm going to stop the video on this and pick it back up on slide 13.